The show focused on delivering beneficial information on everything to do with products and services that can improve your life. This is Experts on Call on AM 650.
Welcome back. This is Recovery Radio on this episode of Experts on Call. I'm Sterling Fox. With me in the studio, three really interesting women. Lorinda Strang is the Executive Director of the Orchard Recovery Center on Bowen Island. Her colleague is Anne-Marie McCullough, the Director of Communications and Community Relations at the Orchard. And also in studio with us is internationally certified interventionist Susie Galimba from Global Interventions. Now, Susie, this is where actually Anne-Marie and Lorinda are going to take over the conversation, but you have conducted, and your success rate is an astonishing 98%. So you have conducted yet another successful intervention. A person, an addict, convinced by his or her family members to take the gift of treatment which they have been offered. The strategy, therefore, is you've worked together with a recovery center, frequently the Orchard. Mm-hmm. What happens? This individual, after this incredibly emotional moment or many hours of moments with his or her family, says, "Okay, I'll go." What's next?
Well, my next step is to call our travel agent to immediately set up a flight if we're going to fly somewhere, and usually that's the case. Normally the family will have packed a bag, if possible.
Okay.
And we will get right into a vehicle and drive to the airport. Myself with the client.
Oh, so no chance for long tearful goodbyes or second guessing or any. Just okay, you'll say you'll go, then let's go.
We do have some tearful goodbyes, but we try not to let them linger too long.
Sure.
And then we get on an airplane and we will fly wherever we're going to go. If it's the Orchard, that's where we go.
So you land at YVR, and Lorinda, right. would you have a vehicle there to meet them and just? I mean, this has got to be a pretty coordinated thing all the way through, right? Mm-hmm. Once that decision, okay, I'll go to your recovery program. Fine. So do you pick them up at the airport?
If they're coming from somebody like Global Interventions, they are going to be bringing them to us.
Okay.
So they'll bring them right to the island and right to the treatment center. But other times we'll have staff at the airport waiting to pick somebody up.
And you mentioned that when you coordinate with Susie, it's important for you not only to have a bed available on that day, but also a doctor. So is part of the incoming process at the Orchard, is there a medical exam or certainly an interview with a medical professional? Is that part of the welcoming day?
On the first day that the person comes in, depending on if they need detoxing, everybody will see the doctor, but in some cases it's vital that they're seen by the doctor immediately, and because we're going to put into place a medical detox protocol, which can involve medications needed to assist the person to withdraw from whatever drug or alcohol that they're on.
Right.
And so that's part of the process.
Okay. So, and again, we're talking about addicts, and we're talking about some really nasty addictive substances that really are. I mean, we've all seen the rubber room in the movies, and it ain't pretty. And that's a detox, isn't it? That's just allowing that substance to work its way out of your system and not be replaced by anything. That's the process of detox, is it not?
It's a medical intervention. So when they come into the Orchard, they're fortunate that they're not going into the hospital, and it's a much nicer level of care.
Well, sure, of course.
So, the things that we do at the Orchard is the first thing when the person gets there is to immediately try to put them at ease, to let them know that what they've just done, they need to feel good about themselves. This is a gift to them. This is for them. Yes, their family members are going to be happy, but this is all about how are we going to help you have a better life.
And how can you make a person who's already got the sweats and the shakes feel at ease?
Introducing them to the other clients, introducing to the staff, sharing our own stories with them.
Okay.
Our doctors are excellent, and they will put them at ease. Depending on what protocol needs to be put in place, we will listen to them, and our doctor obviously has his plan.
Sure,
but we will listen to what they think they might need, and it's so that they feel empowered and part of the process. Mm-hmm. and then, you know, very quickly they're as soon as they're well enough, we don't want them sitting alone in their own head, coming up with all the reasons why they shouldn't be here.
Right.
All the what ifs. So we're immediately providing them with tools, recovery, coaching, and they're into our program, which is seminars, counseling group, excellent food, and fellowship.
Well, there's nothing wrong with good food. That's a really important part of any positive process, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what happens if somebody gets there, Anne-Marie, and says, nah, you know, on second thought, this is definitely not for me. I'm out of here. What then? What can you do?
Well, as we were talking about earlier, the key to anybody getting recovery is their own willingness. So whether they've come there of their own volition or whether they've been forced there by an intervention, they're going to have to find that within themselves to actually want to be there.
Right.
We have no bars on the doors. Nobody can force them to stay. The gate is open. They can leave at any time.
Right.
Our goal is to help them to want what we are offering. So the switch needs to happen. Let's say they've come because Susie and her wonderful team have done a great job of intervention. Once they're at the Orchard, it's our job now to instill in them the willingness to do this for themselves.
All right. This has been a really quite fascinating conversation, and I hope that people listening to us, particularly if they're recognizing some of the elements that we've been talking about in members of their own family or perhaps in their own lives. And Lorinda, you and I touched on this a few moments ago. If someone recognizes in the conversation that, oh, you know, we can't pretend in our family anymore. So-and-so is an addict. You know, it's not popular. It's still kind of a dirty little secret, as you called it earlier, Susie. But, you know, we have an addict in our family. Can they call you at the Orchard and go, what do I do? Is that part of what you do? I know that you have programs and you have people in the facility and doctors and whatnot, but do you just take phone calls from people who go,
all the time.
I'm a mother or a father of an addict. What do I do?
We take text messages, we take emails, and we take phone calls. And all of our staff are experts at answering any question that a family member might have. And remembering that the family member, when they're calling, are in distress. The person that they love, they are fearful that they're going to die. They're fearful they're going to get in a car accident. They're going to lose their job. They're going to drop out of university. The family has catastrophized this in their mind. They can't see a way out, and our job is to show them that there is a way out. And then secondary to that is then helping the person that needs the help to understand that there is help.
And should you feel the need, recognizing a lot of commonalities in our conversation, go to orchardrecovery.com. All of the contact numbers for Anne-Marie and Lorinda, and if you need to talk to an interventionist, they know Susie's number as well. Susie, a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Lorinda and Anne-Marie, hope to see you both again soon.
Thank you.
That's it for now.